It's a slow day today, not a lot of people, but
Hmm.
that's okay. We can talk about deeper topics. That's all. Hello, everyone. This is April Cox from Self-Publishing Made Simple. And today I am doing our weekly live session where you ask anything about self-publishing and I will be happy to answer your questions. So this is geared for new people who are just trying to learn how to self-publish. And following this session, for those who are on our mastermind group, I have Kelly Lima, who will be here answering questions about Canva and design. So between the two of us, we have got, a good agenda here for you. So I started the day today a little bit earlier. I did a session on what it takes to go from an idea to a really vetted idea that you can be sure is profitable and that you can assess and evaluate and determine whether it's a good idea, good enough to move forward. That was a really good session. And I will be posting the replay link for my mailing list. So if you're interested in receiving a copy of that or attending an upcoming event like that, I will be rerunning that because we did it during the daytime to help with those who can't attend the evening sessions. But I'll also be putting an evening session out there soon. So that's one thing. If you have questions about vetting an idea, that's something that I'd be happy to talk about further. I also have an upcoming course that I wanted to also just kind of introduce the topic here. It's my twice a year, I do a 12-week author work group. And it is geared for those who are looking to get the extra hand-holding through the self-publishing process. So in 12 weeks, we take you from having a completed manuscript, but maybe it's not edited yet. So we go through the editing process, the illustrations, the design. Every week out of the 12 weeks, we do something having to do with marketing. So we don't save marketing all the way till the end, but we also walk through how to set up your Amazon, how to come up with the right keywords for visibility. So everything that you need in a very clear roadmap that we step through. And for the June session, it's 12 weeks. We do it with a small group. So usually you end up with a group of, say, 5 to 7 people, and we're going through the process together. And we have live group sessions and also online training that you can do as homework, like going through each module of the 12 modules that we do every week, as we move forward through the course. So that is going to be starting in the month of June. If that's something that you might be interested, feel free to comment and I will give more information, or if you have a question about whether it'd be a good fit for you, feel free to comment and I can give you a little bit more information or guidance around that. So other than those housekeeping things and open items, I'm open for anyone who's got, let's see, what do I got here? If you have a question to ask and you want to put it onto the chat, or you want to take yourself off mute for those of you that are with me, feel free to do that. I'll just introduce myself. If you don't know me, my name is April Cox. I am the founder of Little Labradoodle Publishing and creator of Self-Publishing Made Simple. And it's my pleasure to serve the author community and to help with this kind of free open Q&A for those who are looking for a little guidance around this topic that can be quite convoluted. So welcome, and thank you for joining. Anyone have anything specific that you have a question about for me? All right. what's going on in your world as far as what are you publishing? Do you have any news or things to share? Good news is always wonderful to celebrate together, and challenges are something that we can help you with as we go through. Go ahead, Pat.
I'm ready to send my manuscript for my fourth book to Bobby Hinman to do the editing. And even though she has done it before for me, I sometimes forget what all her services entail, which would be good for your people on YouTube to know. When you
Right.
hire her, what do you get for your money? What services does she provide once you turn your manuscript over, which is what many of these people that are going to join your group in June are going to have to do.
Right. Yes. So that's a great question. And so Bobby Hinman is my go-to editor for picture books. What I love about Bobby is she knows exactly what it's like to be an author. She's been in this business for probably 3 decades now, and but she's still writing children's books. She is an editor. She has written a couple of books on how to write successful children's books and how to publish. So it was her book that actually got me started in my self-publishing journey and made me realize how many things I had missed along the way. So I love Bobby. And so if you're looking for a children's book editor, she is my go-to. What goes with a comprehensive edit, which is something that Bobby offers, for the $325 price tag. So that includes a comprehensive edit, including developmental editing. It also includes the line edit, copy edit, and proofreading at the end. And you also, which I really love, Bobby will help you. She will paginate the story for you so that you know like what goes where. She'll give you some ideas on illustration comments for your illustrator. So ideas on, what you might want to consider. She also will work on your bio, and she'll edit your bio, your book blurb, the Amazon listing. And if you have a press kit and you want her to take a look at that, she'll look at that too. And that's all part of her package. So she is amazing. She is amazing. And one of the other really strengths of Bobby Hinman is that she is a very unique talent that understands rhyming very well. So I give her bad rhyme and she fixes it and makes it good rhyme. So it's important if you are doing a rhyming book that your editor really understands rhyme and meter and can help you tweak things, because the rhyme and meter police will definitely be on your reviews explaining how, you don't know how to rhyme, or slant rhymes make them crazy and different things like that. And I had no idea how bad my rhyming was until I got an amazing editor like Bobby, who could help me understand and even educate me as I go on. So that is amazing. All right.
Thank you.
Yes. So Bobby is hired. You can hire Bobby. And if you're looking for contact info, you can go to fairybooklady@gmail.com. That is Bobby Hinman. And her website address is bestfairybooks.com. So I'll just put that into the chat, both here in the Zoom together, and also in the chat on YouTube as well. So that is perfect. All right. And if you have people that have done really well for you, and you want to share, your recommendations, then yeah, absolutely. Let's help one another to find those really amazing resources, because they're really important. All right. So I just posted that there as well. Thanks for the question, Pat. How's the new book go? How's your launch process going for the new book?
Other than just editing the manuscript, getting ready to have it edited. I had sent it to a few critique groups that I do belong to, let them take a look at it. But as far as the launch, no. But I know that you have a very good video, and I have notes that you've taken on launch, and I'll be looking at those and seeking your advice.
Okay, no worries. That's great. Interesting. It's great to be back writing, I'm sure.
Yes.
Awesome. Hi, Kelly. Welcome, welcome. You had a question? Go ahead.
Hi, yeah, I actually have a pen name question.
Okay.
So I am gonna be launching my first book under a pen name, which is a different genre from picture books and middle grade. And I was wondering if you guys have any experience, do you have any tips to using the new pen name and such?
So using the new pen name, I know that there are some individuals who, when they write in multiple genres, they have different pen names that they use so that their books, don't get all mixed up under one author page. And I think it depends on how you want to use or how related the genres are. Obviously, if you're writing a romance novel and you're doing children's books, you might want to change the pen name so that they're shown separately. But you can also, on your website, you can say, I write under this name for children's books, this name for romance or whatever. I actually saw somebody recently exchanged emails with me, and she in her email signature identified the different pen names that she writes under. So she put author and then pen names, and a link to where people could go to find out more about her writing. So I thought that was brilliant to be able to identify that. So is there anything specific, Kelly, that you're talking about with regard to pen names?
I guess debut, marketing wise, any tips of whoever has used pen names before? I'm gonna be doing self-pub through KDP Amazon. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think, the marketing, if you have a pen name for a specific genre that you're writing, I assume that your marketing is going to be focused around that particular genre. So how you market a romance novel will be very different than how you market your children's books, other than the fact that maybe you want to use Amazon ads for both. But you can still list your books in the same KDP dashboard. You can still manage them all on Amazon, for your Amazon ads. So I think that it's just a matter, whenever we talk about marketing, the first thing I think about is how do you come up with, what is your target audience that you really need to get plugged into, and really knowing your target audience and what they're expected and the tropes and things that are part of this sub niche that you're working in. That's really what you need to really understand how to market your books to them. Because if it's a paranormal romance, then people that love and are voracious readers for those kind of novels are very different than people that are cowboy romance or billionaire romance, right? So you just have to really know your audience, what they expect, what they want. And you can do that a lot by studying what some of the best sellers are doing, how they're talking about things, how they're referring to their tropes. Even do a Google search. What types of places are they going for interviews? What kind of ads are they running? So you can get an awful lot of information by just studying your competitors, which can be some of your best teachers. And one person that I know that does have multiple pen names is Joanna Penn. So I think she writes in, 3 or 4 different genres, and they all have different pen names associated with them. So you might want to look at Joanna Penn as an example and kind of see how she handles it, because she's got thrillers, she has nonfiction books, she has just a lot of different types of books and different types of audiences that she appeals to separately with those different pen names.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, we've got a few questions here on YouTube. Let me see. All right, Matt is asking about AI. I'm setting a new norm of self-publishing, indie publishing. That's fantastic. Love that. So Matt says he's published 5+ ebook editions and 17+ print books, paperback and hardcover. And some of the editions are collector's editions, deluxe editions. That's fantastic. A video channel he's created. So that's fantastic. Yes, and Joanna Penn is a great guru to follow. I completely agree. So Matt, do you have any question for me, or anything you want to share as far as news or a sample that you'd like us to take a look at and maybe do provide you some feedback on an Amazon listing? Feel free to post that in the chat, and I'm happy to jump in and give you a little bit of feedback. All right. One of the things that I thought would be great to share while we're waiting for some questions is I'm going to pull up a sample brief that I pulled together for one of my authors. I was just blown away by what AI, speaking of AI, was able to do. So let me pull this open and share the screen so that you can see. So when Anne and I met, we talked about the fact that her picture book was now fully edited, the manuscript, and it was time to start thinking about illustrators. And her question to me was, April, how can I help make the illustrator even know what I'm trying to do, and how do I select the right illustrator? So I want to spend a few minutes talking about that, and then I want to show you what we ended up doing with using AI to come up with just what blew me away. So let me just walk through this. I put together, I just opened a document and said, okay, let's create a quick sample or a quick summary to your illustrator that would talk about, just zoom in on this a little bit so that it's easier to see. Zoom in. Okay, so when we talked about the book, we came up with her little summary. Milo's a curious kid, too busy to bother with silly things like shadows until his shadow gets angry and runs away. So she talked about kind of just a summary of the story. And then we gave a little summary of the character. So he's 8, African-American, messy hair. He's an inventor, and he loves to invent things. So he's always tinkering with something. And then when we kind of went through this, I said, well, it would be kind of nice to have an example of an image that can show the type of art style. So we just went into ChatGPT, and we just described Milo, similar to what we described above. And I said, I wanted to use this to send it to the illustrator so that they would understand what we were looking for. And this is what came out.
Wow.
I was blown away. And I was like, not only does it have an image, but over here, Milo's lab on the wall. I said, oh, this is really great. Maybe I can do something like, how do I preserve this art form, the form of art? Like, what style is this? I love it, because I didn't ask for anything specific for a style, but this is what ChatGPT generated. So I went in and asked the ChatGPT to explain the style of illustration. And it said it's whimsical, hand-drawn children's book illustration with an art style like traditional media, sketchy, bold outlines with soft muted colors and textured shading that mimics colored pencil or watercolor. Like this, I wouldn't have ever thought. But now that I have that verbiage, when I want to create this style, I can say, we're going to create, talk about in a whimsical hand-drawn children's book style, and then talk about what we actually want, cartoonish character, detailed background. So it actually has quite a wide, long list of what this style is. And you can do the same. You can take any image that you have. Let's just say you fall in love with a certain art style. You can upload that into ChatGPT and say, I really love this art style. Can you describe it so that if I wanted to prompt ChatGPT to generate this art style, it would know exactly what to use, what to do with it. So, how would I describe this art style or this image? You'll get ChatGPT's version of the image and a version of how they describe the artwork. So amazing. This is just something that I never in a million years would have expected to come out of ChatGPT so easily. And then what I ended up doing is going in and saying, I love the Milo character. Can we create a character sheet with Milo in a number of different positions with different emotions? And the sheet that it came up with looked really good. It actually looked a lot like Milo with some small differences, but it's starting to get to the point where you can have consistency from character to page to page, artwork to artwork, which means that it's huge leaps forward, because we weren't getting this in the past. You could generate a piece of art. The writing was not good. Like if you wanted to label it with a certain label, it was not really good. It made a lot of mistakes. I'm seeing 5 fingers here, and I'm not seeing big mistakes with the face and things like that. So huge updates with ChatGPT over the past, say, 3 to 4 weeks that I'm noticing, and it's definitely worth playing with it. The purpose we used it for was creating an image that we provide then to our illustrator and ask them to turn around their own version of that. So understand the style and what we were looking for, and then be able to move forward with our illustration project based on that sample. So thoughts? Has anybody done this before? So it's definitely worth. Let me just go, maybe I can share an example since we are not too many people today. Maybe I can go a little deeper. Mine is already in KU, Matt says. Welcome to the AI.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been doing a great deal with AI, but not as much with the AI illustrations. So Matt, is that what you're doing with AI illustrations? That's very intriguing to me. All right, so I'm going to go to Authorpreneur AI, which this is my AI that I built on top of ChatGPT. And we're going to just go and let's have an example with your next book. Like what is let's take one of the characters from the book and see if we can generate something that we can send over to the illustrators.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt's going to be in it, the president.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say, so
He's
normally,
going to be he's going to be giving a speech at the fair,
okay.
and that's why the little trolley is going to save him, because the trolley that was to take him to the fair broke down.
Okay.
So a little trolley, little Delmar the Dinky, saves the day and gets President Teddy Roosevelt to the fair. So Teddy Roosevelt, that might be an easy one to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna, first thing I always do is give it a role. So I'm gonna say here, act as an illustrator / art director and help me to create an image for my book project. The project includes a cartoon character. I'm gonna say children's book illustration of Teddy Roosevelt, who is giving a speech where?
At the World's Fair.
The World's Fair. Okay. I'm going to kind of go back. Let's not give it any direction for art style. I'm going to say, how would you describe the current art style you have? It's kind of, I'm going to say the human characters in my book
April,
should be realistic.
April.
Yes.
Yes.
What you can do is you can just screenshot one of the images and send it on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to describe the image for you.
Yeah, that's not what we're trying to do, is kind of imagine something new and then see what happens. That's kind of how I ended up doing the other one. But yes,
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to create one for her existing one.
no, we're just gonna, but we don't have anything generated yet for Teddy Roosevelt. So let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT creates. All right, so sometimes it does this where it shows me two different responses and wants to know which one I like better, which is fine. It's trying to learn from the work that it does with us. So we're just going to let it have a minute to go ahead and do this.
I've never tried illustrations with ChatGPT. I've used it for just about everything else, but I've never asked it to create an illustration or an image.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely feeling like, at least my thoughts before it created that amazing thing of Milo is that it's not really ready for prime time to do things itself. So well, that's weird. It's doing a self-publishing roadmap. That doesn't have anything to do with what I said. That's probably responding to something previously that I had done. Weird things happen when we end up with doing some ChatGPT stuff. So I'm gonna give this a moment. Okay. So with this has World's Fair and it's got Teddy Roosevelt. Now we didn't say it was going to be a human character. So now it's got World's Fair, it's got him speaking, and the art style is actually quite beautiful, but we want a human Teddy Roosevelt, right?
Yes.
So let me go to, that's old. Let's see. Oh, I know it because it was showing something old. This is something I had created before. And it looks like this is the second one or the most up-to-date one.
This is good to be able to give to an illustrator to say, this is something like what I like.
What I'm saying is that if you want to play around with different things, you can do that and then come up with something and you go, because I was trying to put together a middle grade book, and I was trying to think about the girl and what she looks like, and thinking about age 12, and I was trying to describe her, and I was having such a hard time with it. So I went into ChatGPT and I just started brainstorming, and I was like, there she is, that's her, like that's what I have in my mind. So just brainstorming, playing around. So here's Teddy Roosevelt, World's Fair. And then if you wanted to do something that was more this type of response, would you like additional illustrations created for your book featuring Teddy Roosevelt? If so, let me know. I'm more apt to take something like this and say, this is how I want Teddy Roosevelt to look. And art style like this is what I'm going for. So I'm going to just say I prefer this response. What do you think when you look at this? Is this
Yeah,
what you had?
I like that style.
Yeah, so let me say, can you show me some other options for this image using different art styles for my children's book? So it will just give me some different options. So I like this style. I don't know what it is, what kind of style it is. I'll show you. I'll ask about this image and what the art style is, or can you describe this art style so that I can get a little bit more information about it. But I thought it was really cool to be able to do this.
Yes. It's more cartoony in a way, like a cartoon.
Yeah. Yep. And then I'll do for the next one, I'm going to say create a character sheet with Teddy Roosevelt character in various positions with varying emotions. And so we'll do that one next. And these are some of the go-tos that I do when I'm kind of working through things. So let's see. It is a little slow, and I'm sorry that my computer's a little slow, but generating these kind of high quality or high resolution images can take a while. So, and here it is. It's, this is the kind of thing that Amazon, that happens with AI, right? It totally forgot that I wanted the human one, or maybe I didn't show. Can you show me some other options for this image using different art styles? So it's showing this style. I'm going to say.
It's using your first image.
Yeah. Let me do this. I'd say I prefer the human image, human version of Teddy Roosevelt created previously. Show me a more Disney Pixar version of the previous image of that image. So, I mean, I can just say, show me different ones, but if you are starting to get familiar with the different art styles and how ChatGPT refers to them, that can help you. Like learning and spending time brainstorming can be a lot of fun and also really help make you a lot more productive. It's also a great way to spend time with the kids because they just laugh and they do all kinds of weird things and create all kinds of weird images. And I just like scroll through and go, what were you guys thinking? What were you doing with this? But they create some really cool characters too, fairies, and putting them in different positions and different scenes that they can use to create, their own little version of a book, which is quite interesting to see how much they can do with some of these generated images. So you can see this is clearly a different art style. It has that Disney Pixar 3D type imagery for Teddy. Let me see, what other art styles should we try for this version of this image? Let's see if it recommends anything different. Classic watercolor storybook, graphic novel, comic book design, mixed media. Let's say, let's try number 1. So that gives you some different ones: fantasy, dreamy illustrations, flat vector, modern style, 3D claymation style. So there's a lot of different things you can try and see and have it generate some different looks and feel to this. But one thing that I was definitely sure of is when I looked at that Milo character that was generated by, a couple of sentences that I put together, it showed me, I mean, I would never have guessed that it was done by AI. It did not look AI. So some of these images that were being developed early on, you could really tell it was AI generated. It was, very 3D looking. And I don't know, it just had, AI written all over it, right? But these
So,
days, so different.
so April, I have a question. What if you fall in love with like that specific thing, and
Mhm.
now you want to hire that illustrator? Are you with me?
Well, the thing is, it's not an illustrator, it's your AI, right?
I know that's where I'm going. Where does this go, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So
I-
here is,
yeah.
I'm gonna try something. So this is the different version that it suggested for the number one, which was classic watercolor storybook, which is kind of interesting. It does kind of look like the classic storybooks. So that's a different look and feel. So if I say, if I provide this to the illustrator and say, this is the style, this is what I want Teddy to look like, then they can take it from there. And,
Yeah.
illustrators can mimic the style, and it helps. Of course, they're going to have their own interpretation of it, but is it at a point where you could use this for your story? I don't know, maybe. I'm just going to say this is perfect. Can you now take this version of Teddy Roosevelt and have him riding in a car during a parade? So let's see. Let's see if how much it allows them, Teddy, to look alike. I don't know. And then I'll do the character sheet, which I like being able to see the different angles, different emotions. And once you get those kind of things and you're able to provide that to an illustrator, wonderful. But I think pretty soon the illustrators are going to be, I won't say less necessary, but I think that drawing everything by hand will be less necessary, and they'll use AI to get started with something, tweak it so that, they're able to be a lot more productive. At least that's what I would do if I was an illustrator. I would be looking for ways to increase my productivity and make the best of what AI can help provide without impacting quality or anything like that. So let's see if this still looks like Teddy. You know what? It looks exactly like him from the previous image. And this was one of the biggest critiques of the artwork using AI, because you couldn't get a character that was consistent from one to the other. But here we are. Let's do an angry version of Teddy Roosevelt. What is he angry about? Let's see. When someone arguing at a debate. So we'll do that. I'm looking at this thinking, wow, I think there is a real option to save money and use AI a little bit more. Just make sure that when you do, or if you do, you can there is a question when you upload things to Amazon KDP. It wants to know, did you use AI? So I would say, use your integrity, answer yes. Joanna Penn uses AI for a lot of the things she does, and she also talks about it on her channel. And she's a lot more advanced than certainly what I am. I'm just kind of playing around with the AI around illustrations. she's generating covers using AI and a bunch of other ways of using it for things like audiobooks and editing and, you know, self-editing. So I think it's huge, the benefits. Now this looks exactly like Teddy again, doesn't it?
Mhm.
In a different situation. So, well, maybe a slight difference. So this has a much rounder face than this one. This one's more oval face, but it's pretty close. If I say this image shows Teddy with a more oval face than the previous round face images. I mean, that's not very eloquent, right? Can you fix it so his face shape is more round? It seems pretty good to be able to go back and forth and come up with something, you know, that could truly be used as a professional illustration. So I will say that if you that the rules and the information about AI and AI illustrations, and can you copyright them? Can you use them in your book? Do you have to you know, put some kind of credit out there? So it's changing very quickly all the time. So I would just do a little research around that, or even just ask ChatGPT, what are the current rules around this, and see if we can, you know, if you can just make sure you're following the rules. So it's coming together. I love this style. Very cool. Textures. I like the textures. And now here I am seeing a much rounder face, right?
Mhm.
So it's listening to me and making adjustments. We've got 5 fingers. I'm not seeing, you know, a tail or anything coming out. So it's just amazing, these new things that it's doing. It can also, create a social media, an image for social media, an image for social media with the words coming soon, and an image of a smiling Teddy Roosevelt in this art style. Let's see. Let's see if it will, if the text will actually write on it the way that we hope it will. Let me just double check over here. Yeah, so Matt says Joanna Penn introduced him to ChatGPT, and he's grateful for that. That's fantastic. She's doing really good things. And if you're not part of her Patreon, it's well worth it, because she really walks through her process, like of creating a cover and all of the things that can come from it. So coming soon. It spelled it correctly. You could also give it, you know, a certain font type and stuff. I don't know if that would work, but that's kind of interesting. Thoughts, feedback? What do you think?
Amazing.
It's unreal.
Mhm.
And I like
have some
the
fun with
idea.
it.
I like the idea of the coming soon, because
Mhm.
that's a good way to, even for a pre-launch, so to speak, before you start. Very simple, just say something to him and say, coming soon, and
Yeah.
show the dinky, or, you know, I can go into ChatGPT, I can come up with something. Thank you.
Yeah. And if we had an image, if I had an image of your dinky, which is the little trolley, you could, I wonder if we could even upload the image and say, you know, put Teddy riding inside the trolley, you know, the dinky waving his hand, and base it on the trolley that's attached. I don't know. It's just, I'm just amazed at what I'm seeing, how far this has come.
Right.
So
Mhm.
yeah,
Thank
play
you.
fun with it. And if you go through my authorpreneur.ai, I have a full version of the ChatGPT. It's a free to sign up with, just get, all you need to have is a login to ChatGPT. And the Authorpreneur AI also allows access to the websites and, searching outside more than just local searches. So it's quite interesting to play around a little bit, and it's going to give you a lot more than what the free, or I should say what the free version of ChatGPT will give you, because it'll ask you, to upgrade to get more versions or more refreshed images.
I got a question. Can you upgrade your Authorpreneur AI to a paid version?
You mean, can I
No.
charge for it?
I mean, it's free, correct?
Yeah, so I'm offering it for free, but it's got all the benefits of a paid version of ChatGPT.
Okay, I understand.
So
Thank you.
you've got all of those, so that really makes a difference. And it has all of it's the best of ChatGPT, and it's built on top of that, but it also has my knowledge, my coursework, my workbook, and all of the things that I teach in my classes, even some interviews with, some of the more important interviews. I wanted to make sure that I uploaded those inside of the memory banks, or, the information that it would have to be able to share. You can even ask for a link to, where would I find XYZ in the course, in the self-publishing course, that and it will tell you what the link is. And as long as you've got access to my course, it'll take you right there. So yeah, if you're looking for a link to my resources, or a link to a template that I have, but you can't seem to figure out where it is, you can use the Authorpreneur AI to help you find it.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still playing around with it, and I'm sure there's more to do, but it's kind of cool just to continue to see all of the advancements that are happening. It's really, really interesting. All right. Well, I am getting to the top of the hour, and Kelly is going to be taking over for the 9 o'clock hour. So I'm going to just wish you well. For those of us that were joined through YouTube, thank you for joining. Post your questions. If there's anything I missed, I will come back and answer your questions. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Tell your friends. We're hoping to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark soon, and do a little kind of a celebration once we get there. So, and again, thank you. And we'll be back here